Crypto Takeover, coming back with another Bitcoin analysis video for y'all this evening. We are currently getting a little bit of a bounce here on our trend line support and around that 8,800 area where Bitcoin loves to hold it. Well, is that the case? We just bounced back up above that 9K area. All the Vegeta memes are out again. And could we expect maybe a move, an impulse move, maybe back up to 9,500? Well, we're going to take a look at the charts this evening, see what we can decide, see what we might be able to conclude from our analysis on today's video. If that sounds interesting to y'all, please stick around and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if y'all are brand new to the channel, we use the Market Cipher Indicator by CryptoFace. On this channel, you can find links in the description box below if y'all are interested in getting that indicator package. And then also we've just added the TI sequential by Tone Vays, and then as well as the buy and sell signals from Market God. So I'm glad to have y'all here with us this evening. If y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that y'all subscribe. We do a daily analysis video every single day on the probability of what direction Bitcoin might be headed to for the short term or the macro term part of its structure. So we're looking at the 15-minute time frame. As of right now, we can kind of see that the bulls are in control. We did make our move back above the VWAP, which is sitting right at about 9K. So honestly, this does kind of look like a little bit of a liquidity move, on my opinion. But if we start to dive a little bit more on into the charts and start to zoom out just a tad bit more, we might be able to get an idea of whether or not this run up will last any longer or if we're going to continue back to the downside. So right now, it does look like the bulls are in control, sitting above our VWAP. If we come back down to test 9K support, we're going to look for a bounce possibly or a move back under 9K. So that's looking at our 15-minute time frame. We can tell that we are in the green money flow as of right now, but currently our blue momentum waves are putting in a few trigger waves. Although our money flow is not directly headed down to the green or headed down to the reddish area, usually these trigger waves often indicate that possibly a move to the other side could occur and that we could bring our blue wave below our zero pivot point, maybe an indication that bulls have had their liquidity move that they were looking for, and then maybe see what's happening next. So let's move on into our 30-minute time frame here. Our 30-minute time frame also telling us that we're still getting a lot of choppiness right now, and that's one of the reasons why it's probably so important to catch a position at what we determine what the top might have been, right? And so we can see now that the choppiness here is basically with our money flow moving from one direction to the other, not a very thick money flow on either direction. So we have to really zoom out and wait to see when these bigger moves might occur, because on these smaller time frames you can get really sucked in, and sometimes it's just not healthy and you're going back and forth a lot of the times, and it kind of sucks, to be honest, because we've all been in those situations where it's just like, oh, if I enter short, then it's going to go the other direction. If I enter long, it's going to go the other direction, and so that's one of the main reasons why it's so important to catch these bottom and tops and really just zoom out when in doubt, right? So right now we can see a lot of choppiness on these lower time frames. We can tell our money flow is not deciding in a clear direction right now, going back and forth between the green and the red in a very thin manner, right? So we're gonna have to zoom out here on our 45-minute time frame, maybe get a clearer picture. So we are starting to get these bullish crosses now with our EMAs too as well. That's to be noticed. Usually if we have a big dump, sometimes we like to come back up and get back above our EMAs and make those bullish crosses before maybe another bearish cross could happen too as well. We're going to start to zoom out a little bit more here just to get a clearer structure of our money flow as of right now. We can kind of see that we were curving off here. We had somewhat of our dumpage happening to that lower 8,700 area, and then we had this move way down here that wicked through our support line as well at about that 8,500. So We can also still see that money flow kind of being unsure of where it wants to go even here on our 45-minute time frame. So we're still going to have to zoom out more on these higher time frames just to see if we can get a better idea of what's happening here. So let's move on into our 1 hour time frame, giving us a red dot on our blue momentum waves as well. Money flow is moving into the green. So we can also see how, we were rounding off here. We moved into the red a little bit. Now it looks like we want to start going back green, but if this green is probably still ending up becoming a lower high than this green money flow over here, then we could probably still anticipate that, we could go back down into the red, or it may not be of like a substantial move as when we pushed all the way back up to 10K. So, I think that if anything, this could be, as we start to zoom out, we'll get a better idea. But based on some of my previous analysis videos, this could be short-lived. But if y'all are in there to take a position and maybe ride this up a little bit, then just use caution, right? Let's move on into our 2 hour, or we're going into our 90-minute time frame real quick. 90-minute time frame, also giving us a sign of a red dot here on our blue wave as well. So we have our red dot here on our blue wave, maybe indicating a potential top. Looks like we do want to cross a little bit bullish here. But after these sell-offs, sometimes we can cross bullish, then consolidate out a little bit more before our next dip below. But still, let's kind of zoom out just a tad bit, see what's happening here on our 90-minute time frame. And our 90-minute has been a good explanation of money flow and the direction that it's also going. We had a nice peak up here with our green money flow, and now we've been putting in some lower highs with our green money flow as well. And so we're still going to zoom out even more. And as we start to zoom out, maybe even onto these 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, the money flow will start to become closer together, and we can kind of indicate whether or not those have started to round off towards the bottom just yet or not. It's not going to be one linear move all the way down. It's going to be a very ebbs and flow kind of dynamic movement if we do continue further down, or if we get a 50% pump back up to that 10K area. That's a possibility too. But you can see that Bitcoin has been respecting our trend line structure here that we have drawn out going into our wedge pattern here, which 75% fill on this wedge pattern would probably put us at the beginning of June. Where I feel like there's going to be something, probably something in the news or something will come out then. I saw a great tweet the other day, and if y'all aren't following me on Twitter, make sure that y'all go follow me on Twitter at CryptoTakeover_. But it was basically talking about the news, everything in the charts, everything in the news that happens in the news is in the charts. And I just find that very interesting that we can kind of get an idea of, if something major is going to occur, but we don't really know the news. The news is just basically like something for people to latch onto to give reason to it, right? But a lot of the times we can tell what direction and what maybe some of this news could be based on the chart movements too as well. So I just find that very interesting. But yeah, I found a Twitter post. I'll have to maybe try and pull that up a little bit later. Guys, just a heads up. So I haven't really told anyone about this yet, but I'm finally coming out to the YouTube channel to tell people about it. I've sent out a newsletter. So if y'all weren't subscribed to the newsletter, then y'all are hearing about this pretty late in the special that I have going on. And then also, if y'all aren't part of the Telegram group or the Telegram channel, then y'all are also hearing about this late too. I let my newsletter subscribers in on this 2 days ago, and then I also let the Telegram group on it, the Telegram channel at least on it yesterday. But I had 4 spots available for the 35% off tier plan, and those 3 of those spots have already been filled up. So I'm looking forward to filling this last spot, and I wanted to at least inform the newsletter subscribers first, and then the Telegram channel people second as well. Just those are the perks that you get when you keep up to date with me and also you get a little bit of an inside scoop in those newsletters and in that Telegram channel as well. So y'all are hearing about this. I'm thinking about moving this to 2 more spots for the 35% off tier. But as of right now, there's only 1 spot left. And if that spot fills, then things will, I'll probably have to move the price back up to full price again. But if you want to get signed up for that 35% off, there is 1 spot available left right now. The other 3 spots at the original 4 spots had already been filled. So check that out. First link in the description box if you want to trade with us. We've literally had a short position open ever since 9,700. So, not saying that, hey, we could pump back up to that, position, but at the same time, once we start to look into these charts a little bit more, you can maybe see that 10K area might have been a top for us. And I really want everyone to be prepared in this next big move that will occur probably at the end of the month, right? Going into that symmetrical wedge triangle, and then maybe anticipating a further move from there. And hopefully y'all can join us on there. We have a great trading group. Everyone in there super friendly and willing to answer questions, especially for newer people too as well. I know we have a lot of newer people coming to the channel and also coming to the crypto space in general. So I want this to be as easy of a transition as possibly it can be for them. And at least just learning a lot about how crypto works and stuff too. So I have some other big ideas and plans coming in the next couple of months as well too. So, make sure that y'all are at least staying subscribed to the channel and coming back to get all the latest information as well. And then also the YouTube membership page is available. I just had a couple of people sign up for it the other day. So if y'all message me what private chart videos y'all would like to see, whether that's an altcoin, whether that's the S&P 500 or gold and silver charts, I'd be happy to give an analysis for y'all each month. It is a little bit cheaper to sign up through the YouTube membership page than it is on the Patreon page. But on the YouTube membership, on the YouTube membership page, basically you're just getting private analysis from me on whatever chart that you would like for me to look over, and I use my 3 paid for indicators, the Market Cipher by CryptoFace, the TI Sequential, and also Market Guide. So, feel free to sign up for that. There's links in the description box below, and you can join the membership, YouTube membership page too as well. And then also the newsletter sign up is available. It is free to sign up for. If you want to become a newsletter subscriber, I highly encourage it, because we're doing our next $100 giveaway in our favorite altcoin at about 3,000 subs. So make sure that y'all are constantly sharing the videos that I produce. That helps the channel grow. And I really appreciate all the thumbs up. The thumbs up help a lot. And then also comment down below. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish right now. What kind of moves you're making inside of the crypto space. And I'd be happy to respond back in a comment with you and have a good conversation with you in the comments down below. And also just help the channel grow and make more of a community for us as well. So feel free to get signed up for the newsletter. You need to be signed up for the newsletter in order to qualify for the $100 giveaway at 3,000 subs. So make sure that y'all do that. And then also the Telegram channel is available. Like I said, the Telegram channel and the newsletter subscribers were the first ones to hear about that 35% off tier being opened back up for only 4 people. And those spots got filled relatively quickly. So there is 1 more spot remaining. I would imagine it's probably going to be filled by the next couple of days or so. So make sure that y'all go ahead and jump on that. Usually I don't do a lot of discounts anyways, but I am opening up that. I opened up the 35% off tier, and spots are going pretty quickly. So make sure you go hop in on that 35% off tier too right now. And then once y'all join, I'll message you to send me your Discord name. I'll send you an invite to the Discord channel. And the Discord channel is available for the public, but the private group has a private channel inside of the Discord server, and I will give you permission to that category once you sign up through the Patreon page, right? And the key thing here is with Discord, I just want to make sure that everyone abides by the community rules and guidelines. So whenever you join the Discord server, you'll be brought to a welcome page. on that welcome page. You just want to read through everything, make sure that you understand the guidelines and the rules to the Discord server, and abide by those. And then once you click the little green checkbox, you'll have full access to the Discord server. And then obviously the private category is for paid members only, that you need to be signed up through Patreon in order to access. So let's jump back into the charts real quick. We were looking at our 90-minute time frame. We're going to hop into our 2-hour time frame here. Our 2-hour time frame also telling us, hey, this could be a little bit of a short-lived rally, looking like we may get a red dot here pretty soon. VWAP's kind of clipping down too as well. We can kind of zoom out, see that our money flow has still been putting in lower highs with our green money flow too here as well. So we can kind of see that, hey, maybe, this might be a little short-lived rally for the most part. Let's go on into our 4-hour time frame here. 4-hour time frame. We are starting to get some of these buy signals now, but we just need to be very cautious because this does look like a very tight range for Bitcoin in the near-term future. Once we have some of these tight ranges here, we can kind of see we'll pump and then we'll dump. And so we get the buy and sell signals, but sometimes they get kind of convoluted and very tight squeezed too when we do have these very close ranges. So this was one of our last big moves and consolidation areas before our next big move happened, and we had a lot of these kind of fake outs, you could kind of say, or just a lot of short-lived rallies before our next big rally. And I have a feeling that's kind of what Bitcoin is doing right now. It's kind of in this consolidation area, moving side to side, trying to kind of fake everyone out with the directions that it might be moving into a certain extent. But we can zoom out here, and that's where the market cipher indicator really comes in handy, especially on some of these mid time frames. We can kind of get an idea that our money flow is kind of rounding off just a tad bit. Money is wanting to move out of the market for the most part. Money flow is in the red is still very thin right now, but it could come back down and make another bigger, thicker wave down there too. Let's move on into our 6-hour time frame. 6-hour time frame also giving us that rounded off money flow, as y'all can see during our halving rally up to that 10K area, and maybe having that topping out potential there too. Our blue wave is wanting to move up just a tad bit. We'll probably end up moving back up through the 0 pivot point and having maybe another short-lived rally for ourselves. But if we come back up, we could maybe retest this trend line at about 9,800. So that's a possibility. But at the same time, it's going to take a lot, I would imagine, from the bulls, because we can see that how money flow is just kind of moving out here on these mid time frames too. 8-hour money flow is also rounding off. Our blue waves are still on the 0 pivot below it. We could come back up and maybe have a little bit more of a trigger wave. So you can kind of see here how our blue waves have been putting in lower highs as well. We could have one more move of a trigger wave back up to put in another lower high on this on the top side of the 0 pivot, and then maybe make another big leg back down. That is a firm possibility. We need to be ready for whatever, but at the same time, we can kind of anticipate what might happen here too. So our mid time frames are very telling that hey, maybe people are selling off just a tad bit, just because of all the chaotic nature of the economy right now, and the unsurety too as well. So looking at our 12-hour, I was expecting a little bit more of a squeeze here with our 12-hour time frame between our two key EMAs. So Bitcoin looks like it wants to pump back up. We had this rally back up above our key EMA and then fell back below it. So we're going to have to see whether or not Bitcoin wants to pump and hold up above this key EMA here. Let's go into our regular candles. So it does look like we are pretty much making a clear directional move up above our key EMA and maybe holding support above it as of right now. So we'll have to see exactly how that decides to play out. Money flow is still kind of rounding off just a tad bit here, so we need to be very cautious moving forward from here on out. Let's take a look at our 1 day, see what's happening here. 1 day also, money flow is still moving to the side a tad bit. Still we had this red dot here on our 1 day as well. It looks like we're about to put in a green dot down here. We could come back up and retest the 0 pivot point, then make another leg down, or we come back up, put in a trigger wave up at the top of the 0 pivot point, and decide what Bitcoin wants to do from there. as we start to zoom out even more. And so here's another good sign too. As we start to zoom out even on these daily time frames, that's when the TI sequential comes into play too as well. And we can kind of see that the TI sequential has been telling us. I did want to look at the 21 hour. I did want to see what Market God was telling us on the 21 hour. We've still had this sell signal here. As you can see, when Bitcoin likes to move sideways, man, it likes to fake everyone out. Especially it likes to fake a lot of these indicators out too. The buy and sell indicators like to get faked out. So, you know, this sell signal, we could end up getting a green buy signal here pretty soon, you know, just some sideways chop that's not fun to trade. And that's when you got to be really, really cautious about what moves you make in Bitcoin too as well. So not every indicator is perfect, but we can use a basket of indicators to determine probability, right? And that's really what it comes down to, is just the probability factor and making sure you do your own proper risk management and your own proper analysis before you end up pushing the button yourself, right? And obviously nothing on this channel is financial advice. And I always encourage you to do your own research beforehand and due diligence of studying these markets. And so our 1 day, we can kind of see our sell-off here. You know, getting our bearish count all the way to the 7, and the 7 looks like it wants to kind of move back the other direction. So let's move on into our 2 day here, and we're going to keep an eye on these counts as we start to move into our higher time frames. Our blue wave on our 2 day still headed downwards, so that's another sign that it doesn't look like we'll put in a big green dot anytime soon, or I mean, and just a green dot in general anytime soon down here. Our white line is moving pretty low below our blue wave too as well. Let's go on into our 3 day. Starting to get these bearish counts even on our 3 day here. You know, still headed downward. As we start to zoom out, you know, we can still see that you know, Bitcoin's kind of in a downwards move. Even on our 3 day, we've had this 9 up here, and then we had the 1-2 and then the 1-2 bearish count too as well. So moving on into our 4 day. 4 day giving us our first sign of a bearish count as well. Red dot here on the 4 day. And then before we move on into our lovely time frame that we all like to look at, I just want to tell y'all that I am using the premium plan on TradingView. If y'all do want to upgrade, check the links in the description box. If you're using Market Cypher, I would at least encourage you to have the Pro Plus plan. It allows you to have a few more indicators on the screen, such as my Aldo EMAs that I have here, and then also some of my buy and sell indicators. I was using a Whales buy and sell indicator, which we can reference here in a little bit too on these higher time frames. I feel like it's a pretty good reference. And then also the Aldo EMAs. These are both custom EMAs that I teach you how to set up inside of my Patreon page too as well. So there's about 12 to 15 different private videos inside of Patreon, and like half of those tell you how I set up my charts and some of the tips and tricks that I teach y'all too as well. And then also there's another private video in there that I teach you how to get the Pro Plus plan or the premium plan for 50 to 60% off too as well. So there's a cool tip and trick that I teach you how to to use in order to get these plans for 50 to 60% off as well inside of that Patreon private channel. Then also I use the 3 commas bots to help get in and out of the markets relatively quickly. On the leverage exchanges, sometimes they can bog down a little bit. So 3 commas has helped me a lot with that too. Just having the API key set up in the background is an easy way to kind of remote trade for you too. Then also 3 commas is known for creating their trading bots. So you can go in there, you can create your own trading bot based on whatever signals you have on TradingView and trade based off of that too. So feel free to check out the link in the description box if y'all are interested in making your own trading bot with 3 commas. And then also if you are a crypto holder, I'd recommend having a Ledger Nano X or S. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. You can check the link in the description box, help support the channel as well. And then also a few leverage exchanges I would recommend are Prime XBT, Bybit. Bybit has a testnet you can actually paper trade BTC on, so that's pretty nice too. I'd recommend that you practice paper trading BTC on these leverage exchanges before you actually deposit your BTC onto the exchange, please. So please, you know, do your due diligence beforehand and paper trade first, right? And then Prime XBT is another leverage trading site that y'all can use. And then FIMX, I've heard mixed reviews about Phemex. I haven't been a big user of it. I've just heard a lot of people talk about it, but I've heard I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. So please do your own due diligence before you decide to deposit your BTC onto some of these exchanges, right? And then also Brave Browser is a browser that I use daily, and basically it's a nice way to earn passive income inside of the crypto space. So you can opt in to receive ads in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and when those ads pop up you can click the ad and you'll get actually a percentage of BAT token at the beginning of each month from how many ads you click down here in the bottom right hand corner. If you don't want those ads to appear and you don't want to collect BAT token to exchange for USD later, or for more Bitcoin if you'd like, then you can opt out of it and just have a totally ad-free browsing experience. So pretty nifty there, made by the same people that made Mozilla Firefox. So feel free to use the link in the description box and get signed up for the Brave browser. And then also CryptoTab browser is an easy way to start mining Bitcoin directly from this built-in browser itself. So I really only use this to mine Bitcoin. You can use it to browse the web if you want to. It's basically the same shell that Google Chrome uses too. But I have it running on 2 other laptops that I don't really use anymore. And basically the browser is just making me passive income by mining BTC using my CPU power on the computer. So feel free to check out the links in the description box if y'all want to earn some passive income in the crypto space as well. You can download it on your iPhone or your tablet and have your phone or tablet mine Bitcoin for you too as well. And then also follow me on Instagram and Twitter if y'all want to stay up to date with some of the things we got going on. And don't forget, there is one more spot for that 35% off tier. I would imagine it's going to go pretty quick. So yeah, go hop on that one spot left, y'all. And with that being said, let's go back into our, so here we can see we're getting our sell signals even on our 4-day. Already got them on our 3-day. This is not to be ignored, y'all. This is with our whales buy sell signals. And this is just not to be ignored whatsoever. So we're gonna go into our 5-day, see what's going on here. 5-day, no sign of a sell signal yet. But yeah, no sign of the sell signal yet, but we can also see that we're putting in our red dot here on our 5-day. And this was a key indicator that I wanted to be very aware of moving forward from here on out. So we're finally getting the red dot on the 5-day, not something to be ignored. If you stuck around for the end of this video, I highly appreciate it. We're going on for a 30-minute video here, but definitely just, during some of these unsure times, we want to make sure that we can get the upper hand on this. So if y'all stuck around to the end of this video, comment down below 5-day chart, and I'll see y'all on the next one. CTO signing out.